Hi, I'm Ola Strandberg of Strandberg Guitars. Today I want to present my new model Varberg. And contrary to the way that I've worked throughout the years with an entirely open and sharing model, this has been done in utmost secrecy and in collaboration with Al Moomin of the HAARP machine. And in this video, you'll see footage of the entire build process, stacked up instead of as we went along. The reason is that we really wanted to make a big splash out of this, and it's a labor of love with over 2 years of work put into it. So I hope you enjoy.
I first experienced Strandberg guitars at a show with Animals Lears and was intrigued by the efficiency in design and elegant aesthetics of the instruments. My first impression of these guitars was that they felt scientific and modern, as opposed to the romantic conventions I'd been accustomed to. This resonates with my approach in the HAARP machine.
One of the intents of my guitars is that they should be ergonomic and be friendly to your body and really just let you put in those practice hours without fatigue. So a big part of that obviously is the way that the neck behaves and the way that supports the muscles of your hand, your wrist and your entire forearm. I've really honed in on everything that I've learned working with great guitarists over these past few years. The collaboration with Al started it was facilitated by Tosin Abasi of Animals Leaders, who said, check out this great guy. I think we made an instant connection, and as far as me wanting to do something new, innovative, and go take my guitar building to the next level, it just became an instant sounding board of ideas. And one of these ideas that I've been toying with for a while was a new neck profile. So, a number of years ago, I actually played a lace helix guitar, which has a twisted neck. I tried to come up with a way that would achieve the same effect, but on a more conventional shaped neck. So, essentially, the profile that I came up with encourages your wrist to be straightened as you go further up the neck, whereas the fretboard remains like a conventional fretboard, and the path of the strings is like on a conventional guitar, so it doesn't look as strange to the eye, and certainly it's serviceable by any guitar technician. So it doesn't look it doesn't require any special tools or special procedures to level the frets or recrown the frets or do any of those things that you eventually have to do to an instrument. And then the second part of the equation is the rear profile of the neck actually has distinct flat surfaces to press your fingers against. And that also contributes to a more relaxing of the muscles in your hand. Because on a round surface is inherently unstable and will cause your fingers to constantly counteract when your other fingers are pressing strings on the fretboard. So the flat surfaces contribute to more relaxed fingers and the muscles in your hand. And the way that the profile of the neck is made, it encourages you to straighten your wrist as you go higher up the neck and reduce the stress on the joints and the forearm. And finally, you'll notice that it has a very subtle fanning of the frets that accommodate the windshield wiper type motion that your arm will do as you move up and down the neck. So again, that reduces stress on the wrist and just make it more natural to play and effortless. Lets you practice for longer, lets you play for longer, and just feel better doing it.
Ola briefed me on this radical new neck design he'd been working on, and I jumped at the opportunity to be a part of this revolutionary build. In theory, the Endure neck seemed like a great idea, but being such a radical design, I wanted to get my hands on it and give some feedback.
So to get Al to give his feedback, I actually made a prototype out of styrofoam, sent him in the mail, as he's in another country than I am. So we had to communicate and collaborate on Skype and Facebook and email. So went ahead and I constructed this Endure neck, which is now, I've actually applied for a patent on that profile. Not so much for exclusivity, because it's that's not what I'm about. I'm really about sharing and collaborating with other luthiers, and that's a big part of what makes this interesting and enjoyable for me. But I applied for a patent more for the acknowledgement that this is an innovation. It's something that has been reviewed by experts, not necessarily in the field of guitars, but in the field of technology. I make my work available under Creative Commons license, which is called Share and Share Alike, which means that if you want to use my designs, you're free to do so as long as you ask for permission first. And any enhancements that you do to my work, you have to make available under the same license. So this is very much like open source in the software industry. And I find this has really helped me in building my business, and just having transparency in my design process and inviting others to contribute and share their ideas have really made it possible for me to get where I am today. And this extends to other things as well. So I try to keep everything I do transparent. My wait list, which is long at the moment, is public, so anyone can see who's waiting for a build. I'm also open about sometimes having to fast track builds for people for a variety of purposes, or building demo guitars that go in parallel to the wait list, etc. And that's things that I have to do as a business. But I also feel that it's important that it's actually possible to buy one of my instruments. You don't have to be a super recording artist to get it. You don't have to play the music that I like to be able to purchase one of my guitars. I want to work with everyone who likes my instruments, and I want to make them available to as many as possible. And in terms of the wood choices, really the way that the construction is made gives me complete control over every sonic aspect. It's actually made out of 3 pieces, or 4 pieces in this particular build. That are glued together in layers. And this will allow me to really tune the instrument to the tonal characteristics that you're after.
I chose Swamp Ash as the core for a quick response, and a Macassar ebony top for its clarity and presence in addition to its aesthetic attributes. Ola recommended a mahogany base layer to add weight and equalize the balance for a perfect tone for this type of music.
In terms of the manufacturing approach, it's somewhat complex, but also very, very flexible in that it allows me to really shape every single characteristic of the guitar. And again, the way that the layered sandwich construction works, and the way that each layer is shaped differently, that has some practical considerations in terms of the bottom layer actually protecting the cable from being touched by your leg or arm. But a lot of it is really about aesthetics and just giving it a balanced look. I've chosen to work with lace alumitones pickups. Originally, because they fit nicely into the looks and the weight and overall design concepts of my guitars. That's why I originally bought them. I'd never heard them. But really, the sonic characteristics and just the versatility of having a clean, fairly neutral tone gives you just the maximum flexibility of working with that tone down the signal chain. And really it's the ultimate thing to work with electronically. Something that's also on this build is a finish of the rear of the neck that I call groove neck, which is just as it sounds, the surface is actually grooved to reduce the friction against the fingers of your hand and your thumb in particular. The surface that's actually in contact with your thumb is probably less than half of a conventional neck. Just makes it easier to move up and down the neck, and contributes to a more pleasant playing experience.
It almost streamlines it, the direction of your fingers, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Upon receiving Varberg, I was astounded by how well the concepts turned out. Wow. All the risks truly paid off in a remarkable way, and I'm very proud to have this as my main guitar, both in studio and live. It's pretty amazing. So much so that I've actually re-recorded all of the leads on our debut album, despite looming deadlines. Many of the riffs that were quite challenging to play on a conventional neck seem so much easier and more comfortable to play with the indoor neck. The transparency of these pickups really allow the wood to breathe, and it's just further proof of the layering concept. The tone is exactly how I want it. It provides me a quick and precise attack whilst retaining the weight and size of the heavier sounds that I use in my music. I really appreciated the fact that Ola has an open source policy, and the fact that he didn't ask me to sign any contracts or any of the like. He believes that if he builds the best guitars, the artists will play them and they'll be on records and whatnot. If we were to disregard the traditional notions of what a guitar should be and start it from scratch from a purely scientific approach, this would be the end result.